Best way to set up a double bowl kitchen sink drain. The tools you're going to need are purple primer, PVC glue, pipe thread compound, channel lock pliers, measuring tape, and a hacksaw. Now those are just the tools. You're going to need many different fittings. Watch the rest of the video to figure out what those fittings are. We first need to figure out what fitting we're going to use to connect the two sinks to the wall stub out. Now usually your wall stub out will be 1.5 PVC. So you'd use 1.5 double Y and that go on there like that. We're just dry fitting everything, we'll glue it later. But places like New York actually require 2 inch, so you need a 2-inch double Y. So we have our double Y in place. Now if you have the wall stub out coming out of the middle of the wall, you're always going to have a clean out be in the middle hub, and these two sides will connect to a P-trap. So you have one P-trap go there, and one P-trap go there. Or you might have to add some elbows to make it line up. This is a Street 45. It's not like a normal 45-degree elbow. One side is like a pipe, so it actually slides into a fitting. And the other side is a normal hub, so that means a pipe would slide into it. So you can see how these street fittings would be helpful, so that way you can avoid using a lot of pipe. Because you can see how this normal 45, I need to cut another piece of pipe to join these two hubs. So you might take some of these Street 45s, put 2 of them in the double Y, so I have both of them pointing the same way. So my P-trap could go like that, or I might have them swivel. We're still just dry fitting, so I might have them swivel this way to the P-trap. So I have another P-trap over there. Now if your wall pipe is more off to the side, you're going to need to change this arrangement up a little bit. So you might need to have this elbow swivel like this so that the P-trap could connect like that, or you might need to relocate the clean out to a different hub. So I have that clean out over there, and then I wouldn't use an elbow here, I just have the P-trap go directly in there. So there are many different ways you can make this work. Now my wall pipe comes out the middle of the wall, so this way won't work, so I'm going to have to change it. And this is a way I decided I'm going to use. So I'm going to have my P-traps connect over there. Now there are 2 really good types of P-traps out there. Glue P-traps with a clean out at the bottom, and union P-traps. I personally prefer these glue P-traps because they don't leak as much and they have that clean out access at the bottom. But some people like the accessibility of the union P-trap. These union P-traps might not always be good because it could vibrate loose if there's a garbage disposal connecting to it. So make sure you know which P-trap you should choose. So we need to take a measurement to figure out how big of a piece of pipe we're going to need to connect this elbow to that P-trap. So you're going to line this P-trap up with the tailpiece coming down. You can see this is where I want it, so I'm going to have to measure a piece of pipe to fill in the space. So you're going to take your measuring tape. I have the P-trap where I want it. You're going to measure from the base of the hub, not the edge of the hub, but the base of the hub. In this case, I need a 1 3/4 inch piece of pipe. So when you get a piece of pipe cut, you can then put it in the elbow just to dry fit. Take the wall elbow off the P-trap and put that on the wall pipe. So now we have our tailpiece hanging down and our wall elbow hanging down, so we can slide this U-bend in place. But you can see how these 2 connections don't work. This is because this tailpiece isn't Schedule 40 PVC like the P-trap is. So you're going to use a trap adapter. How these work is they have a nylon washer on the inside with a nut. As you tighten this nut, it squeezes that washer so tight against the tailpiece, making a watertight seal. The bottom of the adapter is just glue Schedule 40 PVC, so this will glue onto the PVC. So you have to take a piece of pipe. This is ABS, but this is just a demonstration. So you glue that in there with your glue and primer. And then you'd have to take this tailpiece and slide it onto the tailpiece. That nut will be loose, so snug it up later. And then you're going to put glue and primer on here, glue and primer there. Put it in both sides of our U-bend, and then you're going to slide this U-bend in place. You're going to connect both connections at the same time. So you can see how you've connected that. Now that's how the glue P-trap is installed. But these union P-traps work a little bit differently. So you're going to measure it the same way. So you put your piece of pipe in here, take the wall elbow off, and then you'd have that connection there. But the way we slide this U-bend in place is a little bit different. So what you actually do, I'm just going to steal a tailpiece from this side. So you'd actually take and glue your trap adapter with your piece of pipe into the glue connection of the union U-bend, and then these two connections would actually have to connect at the same time. Loosen this head a little bit, slide it into this side, and slide it up so it engages with this nut here. Now you want to use pipe joint compound for these nuts. So you'd add a little pipe joint compound, then tighten those down, and then that would make a seal a little bit differently than these glue P-traps. Now of course you need to go back after you're done and add a little pipe joint compound to this cleanup plug here. So you put some of the threads. Don't put any in the cleanup body, just on the threads. So you'd screw that back in place and you wipe off the excess with a rag. I'm not going to glue all this together, but I'll show you how to glue together PVC. So you're going to take your primer. Now this stuff is very messy. It won't come off whatever it gets on. So you're going to take your purple primer. Let's get the pipe. Put purple primer in there, like that. Go around a little bit. And you're going to take your piece of pipe, in this case is a bushing. Put primer on that. And then I want to go back and reprime this elbow. Now we're going to add the glue. You can't let this primer dry. It needs to be wet when we apply the glue. Apply a little glue to here. Push these two together. Push, twist, and hold for 10 seconds. So you can see, that's how you make a glue connection. You'd have to make this type of connection for all these hubs.